I rise in support of Ranking Member Lewis's amendment. The chairman said during his soliloquy that there's a considerable difference between the debt run up by the Republicans and the debt run up by the Democrats, and he's absolutely right. There is a big difference. The fact is that the debt run up by the Republicans was too large, but it was decreasing. The debt run up by the Democrats has skyrocketed and is putting this nation's future in danger. The chairman also mentioned the budget resolution that passed, or the enforcement mechanism. I sit on the budget committee. We didn't do diddly. There was nothing that was passed by the budget committee relative to a budget resolution, so see, these are kind of made-up numbers. And I will tell you that we all ought to be concerned about the debt that we are incurring, that we are putting on our children. We can sit and point fingers at Republicans, at Democrats, it doesn't matter, but every one of us had better be concerned about the debt that we are piling on our children's future, and our grandchildren's future, and our great-grandchildren's future. You all know that. The public knows that. Every poll shows that the public is more concerned about the debt than they are any other single issue. With 9.5% unemployment, and the debate going on here about extending unemployment benefits, they're still more concerned about the debt that we are running up than they are providing the unemployment benefits. And I get tired of all the nonsense about Republicans don't care about the unemployment, extending the unemployment benefits. We care about it every bit as much as anyone else in this room does. We just think it ought to be paid for. Out of a budget the size we have, don't you think we could find $33 billion to pay for this? Republicans are in favor of it as long as we offset it with cuts in other areas. Now, if you look at this, since the president took office in 2009, $2 trillion in spending has been added to our base budget. Does anybody really understand what $2 trillion is? Back when they made $1,000 bills, if you had a stack 4 inches high of brand new $1,000 bills, you'd be a millionaire. To reach $1 trillion, it's a stack about 69 miles high. And we are $14 trillion in debt, or will be. We have Mr. Chairman, we can no longer afford to just spend our way into prosperity, as Mr. Rehberg said in one of the subcommittee markets. It doesn't work. It has never worked. And we ought to realize that. If you don't think we can reduce this budget by $30 billion, then we're not trying very hard. And yeah, there would be some programs that I would just as soon not reduce. But to suggest, as the chairman did, that Republican members have said we're not spending enough in some areas and so we've got to spend all of this money, there are always differences within a budget of how you allocate the resources. You have priorities in some areas, we have priorities in other areas. But we ought to all agree that we need to reduce this spending, which means we have to pull our belts in. And if we can't do that, then Lord help us, and Lord help this country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.